Hello, everybody. This is Ed Winaba with Ed Travels, and I took the Leap Travel blog coming to you from Lapu Lapu City, Cebu Province in the Philippines. Today here it's April 16th. Big news day. This is probably going to be one of my longer videos, so I'm going to really try to keep it moving to try to give you as much information as possible. I've been, working all day to compile this so that I can bring you the latest that I have, and I'm pretty sure it'll change even while I'm doing this video. So first, let's go with the numbers. Worldwide, we have 2,099,594 confirmed cases with 136,030 deaths and 17,222 new cases. In the USA, we have 644,348 cases with a whopping 28,554 deaths and over 30,000 new cases in the past 24 hours. In the Philippines, 5,660 confirmed cases with 362 deaths and 207 new cases. And that takes me to Cebu City, which seems to be, because maybe I'm there, is the new epicenter. Well, I ain't gonna say epicenter is a big word, but been a lot happening. In Barangay Luz, there was 21 new cases. Today there were 24 new cases in the same barangay. A couple in an adjacent one to take it up to 54 new cases in Cebu City, including a baby and a 9-month-old. Yeah. The youngest ones in the Philippines as far as I know. Well, as you can imagine, that's going to send Cebu City into the next level. A complete lockdown on that barangay and any barangay that has confirmed cases. But see, that's the point. Once you find someone or you find people that have it, boom, you lock it down, you try to contain it. Then you can start doing contact tracing. Who did they contact with? Who did they meet with? Who did they talk to? And all of that kind of stuff. So Cebu City, the mayor there, and the governor, Gwendolyn Garcia, really have their hands full. And I'm really trying to, have some rhyme or reason to what I'm saying here. That's why I wrote these notes. And that leads into a probably inevitable at least 2-week extension of the advanced community quarantine for sure in for sure in Cebu City and maybe in Lapu Lapu. And speaking of Lapu Lapu, there was conflicting information that I got today. This was earlier today, say about 4 o'clock, which kind of shows you, around 5 o'clock, kind of shows you how it moves. I got a message from CDN Digital that said that the mayor of Lapu Lapu was considering actually lifting the advanced community quarantine in Lapu Lapu a bit early because we have only 2 people left that were under investigation or whatever, and if they healed, he would consider lifting it early. But then about 2 hours later, got another message that said in 2 different barangay, a pretty good distance south near Cordova, that there were 3 new cases, or 1 case in 3 different barangay, which kind of changes the game, even though that's kind of pretty far from Lapu Lapu City. And then also the security guard told me downstairs that he heard that Saturday was supposed to be a complete lockdown of Lapu Lapu. Nobody can leave their houses, and the police will go do your shopping and get your medication for you, which I ain't quite buying that one, because that would be kind of hard to pull off. You're going to have to let somebody get out somehow. Now, maybe if you change it, okay, if your last name starts with this letter, then you go on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then another letter goes Tuesdays and Thursdays, and another letter goes Friday, Thursdays and Saturdays. Some places are doing that. But I'm going to touch on that in a minute about what you hear. I'm trying to stay on track here. And I go back to social distancing, people. Social distancing, social distancing, social distancing. This graphic I'm about to put up is going to really speak volumes about what social distancing is all about. And I apologize for the glare because I definitely wanted to read this the way that it came, because you're seeing the graphic now, but I definitely wanted to read this graphic because it's very telling about 1918. And I just want to find it here, and I apologize again for not being super professional about this, but I definitely wanted, tale from 1918. And the graphic says, people grew sick of social distancing measures as they dragged into the summer of 1918. When the Great War finally ended in late November, people took to the streets to celebrate their good fortune. In the coming weeks, the second wave of the pandemic killed more people than the war. It's not a game. So true. Sorry about that. So true. That is so absolutely true. It is not a game. And that's what I'm afraid of might happen in the USA or some other places that, decide that they're going to go back a bit early. They said if you don't adhere and learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Yes, that was social distancing. And, and also as long as this goes on, there's an increased chaos and mixed messages that come out. Just like in what I told you earlier, I hear one thing from the guard, I hear one thing from online, I hear one thing from, the gossip, the scuttlebutt on the street about what's going on. And that's why I'm going to warn you about being careful about where you get your sources from. I really work hard, and I hope you guys understand that there's a lot of work that goes in on the backside before I turn the camera on and, and start, disseminating what I've researched it to the best of my abilities. That I'm not putting something out there that's BS. I'm trying to give you a true insight from the street level of what I see. And what I'm starting to see here is I'm starting to see more and more people every day disregard the rules and the laws that they put into place. Okay, nobody can ride on a tricycle. I've seen tricycles with people on it. No two people on a motorbike. Seen people on a motorbike. No people in a jeepney that can seat 12. No jeepneys whatsoever. Saw a jeepney packed to the rim today. And I think a lot of people are just getting tired of staying home. And even here in the Philippines, where they're not going to buck up to the cops because Rodrigo Duterte said they will shoot your ass. That people are starting to do this passive-aggressive violating it because they need to earn a living. But the catch-22 is if you don't adhere to the social distancing, then you're going to spread the virus. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, but I would err on the side of adhering to that. It's really hard, I handed out, more packages today. I've got even, more food that I've bought here and to those special people, Andre, Cornell. Not just that, but everybody. I can't name everybody, but your donations go a long way to help a lot of people. And I just want to say here, first of all, this money ain't for me. I'm good. Not trying to sound arrogant, but I'm good. I'm doing this that every cent goes to people that need it, and I'll touch on that at the very end of this. I don't want to get sidetracked right here. As far as Lapu Lapu is, and me personally, another day in paradise. Hanging in there, staying busy. The universe is leading me down that path, and we're working towards this. And one thing I wanted to touch on too, I always ask for feedback, and I got this feedback from one of the visitors to Ed Travels, Lionhearted. I want to make sure that I get this right. One of Lionhearted 1969, and what he absolutely wanted to tell me about the Cebu City facts is, let me get this straight because I am geographically challenged when it comes to talking about Cebu City. So for you, I want to get it right. Cebu City, Mandawi City, and Lapu Lapu City are the three independent cities located in a geographical area called Metro Cebu that encompasses the central eastern seaboard of mainland Cebu and Mactan Island. Metro Cebu includes 4 other smaller cities: Talisay, Karkar, City of Naga, and Danawa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. And 6 towns: Consolacion, Liloan, Compostela, Minglanilla, San Fernando, and Cordova, which occupies approximately a third part of Mactan Island to the south. So now that I've totally butchered those places' names, I want to thank Lionhearted 1969 for caring enough to watch the video and being kind enough to respectfully correct me so that I'm giving out the right information. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Thank you. I hope, if you subscribe and hit the bell notification, I really, really thank you for that, sir. Or ma'am, whoever it is. I want to also touch on, I'm going to post down in the comment section, in the description, a link for added links to the current COVID numbers for Manila and surrounding areas. Got some feedback that some people have family here in Manila, so I wanted to pass that on. I'm going to add that link down below in the description. And as I keep moving forward here, staying with my notes, I want to definitely urge people to remember this is a process, and there's gonna be, in any type of situation like this, there's gonna be mixed messages that's sent, and I know that that's frustrating because one person says this, one person says that, but I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Believe absolutely, almost positively nothing of what you read on the internet and take it at face value. You got a bunch of people who are already a-holes before. They have nothing else to do now. They're stuck in the house, so they're going to disseminate more BS. So verify before you post it on your timeline and add to the minutia of BS and lies and fake news. And like I showed you before, here in the Philippines, they'll lock you up for that. They'll charge you for that. So be careful. And now I want to transition into the United States, and I could be here for another 35 minutes talking about what's going on in the U.S. But what I'm glad to see is that people are starting to dig into the Constitution and know that no one branch of government has total authority. Because like I said, with total authority comes total responsibility. You can't have one without the other. I'm glad to see that these coalition of governors in the states on both the East Coast and the West Coast are coming together to say, hey, listen, we're going to band together. We're going to unite. We're going to do what's good for our people as the powers that are given to us in our Constitution. Even a 6th grader knows that. I'm not going to, be a wall, because I don't want to go there. But everybody knows where I could really be headed with this. The United States, and I would urge you, this is not a political issue. There are economic consequences associated with this COVID-19 epidemic that are just, you can't look away from. But this is a global health crisis that is putting people in their graves. So stop kicking the political football around and making this a political issue and something to dig at people because, so-and-so didn't do this, but what if? But what if you got it? What if your family was to die from this? Would it be political then, or would it be personal? Who gives a rat's ass whether you're Republican or Democrat if you're dead? And I'm not fear-mongering, I'm just keeping it real. So if you're going to put in my comment section about something that's political, don't waste your time. I'm going to delete you and I'm going to ignore you. And I'm going to stay focused on the goal of helping people in a time of need and giving people the information they need. Because I really don't care. I don't want to hear it. This is not a political issue. It's a human issue. It's a global health crisis. Remember that, please. And that brings me to some very special people. First, to my Duganites. You never cease to amaze me. had a wonderful way of staying connected, which is something I talked about with my people from the spot in the ATL. I got to name Sierra, Mama Bear, who keeps us all in line on that call. She ain't afraid to check you and mute you if she has to. Sierra in all her glory, love you so much. To Devonna with Devonna Delights, been my friend for years, my road dog, love you to death. Andre, Cornell, Rania, I know you out there on those flights still doing your business. My love, my heart, my prayers. Please stay safe. To Clarence Johnson Jr., my big brother, my mentor, the guy that gives me encouragement and kicks me in my behind and checks me when I need to be checked. Man, I pray for you. I pray for your father. I hope that you feel better. It was so good just to see your faces and to feel the love from all the way across the other side of the world today, that you guys love me and miss you, and I miss you guys so much. I just can't really put it into words. And that glorious day when we're all back together again. And I want to thank you. I also want to thank Gabe, my boy that just moved from Cambodia, and his beautiful wife and his family in South Carolina. Thanks so much for hooking me up with that intro like you always do. Wonderful work. And your continued support in your chats, man. I really love you and appreciate you. And I also want to give a shout out to my big man. I used to call him Little Xavier, but Xavier Redding, my nephew, happy birthday. Hear you're about 6 feet tall. You truly got those Wanamba genes. And I know that you think about your Uncle Edward. You've always been so special to me because you always love me. You always concerned about me. And out of the mouth of babes, one of these days I'm going to sit down with your nephew and I'm going to tell you some of the things that you said that really brought tears to my eyes, and I can't let this go without letting you know how much I love you and I'm proud of you, and take care of your mom and your grandma and your sister and your father. Be the man of the house. I love you so much, nephew. To Jonathan and Janai, Jordan, James, and you know, Jameson and Jakari. See, all them JWs. You know, my kids and my grandkids and my mom and my sister, Lillian Redding, Sarah Armstrong, my Aunt Margaret, Sentamu and Uncle John Sentamu in the UK, Martin, Owen, and Andrew, and all of my family in Uganda. My love and prayers to you. And to my crew of ladies, Miss Krista Harris, love you so much. Rhonda Butler, you in those unfriendly skies, I love you, the sacrifice that you're making. Jody, Martin, and Tony, love you guys. Thank you. And, you know, if I miss you, I'm going to catch you again. As I wind down this video, I'm just going to tell you again, or imparting you to be human, to love. In order to continue to receive blessings, you got to give. You got to give to get. Those genuine smiles that people give you when you give with it. A gift is something that's given with that no expectation of return or reciprocation. That keeps it real. I really love that when, you know, we're handing out this food, and I'm going to touch on that. I'm starting an initiative here called A Day in the Flow. It's multifaceted, including a short film I'm putting together about my 30 plus days and ongoing days in isolation. Here, 20 to 22 hours in this room. Periodically, I get out. But I'm putting that together. It's called A Day in the Flow. And if you want to hear about that, I'm going to post a video. But A Day in the Flow refers to Taoism and Lao Tzu and the philosophy of going with the universe, going with the flow. Almost like when an athlete is in the zone, the basket looks like a hula hoop. You know, when he's putting on the green, the hole is, 1 foot wide. He can't miss a shot. You know, it's getting in the flow and it's getting in tune with yourself and the universe. And the flow is leading me to feed people. I don't want to give people money. I feed people. Today I made several trips to the store out of my own pocket to continue to feed people. Today I handed out at least three packets. Rice, noodles, milk, coffee, eggs, vegetables, whatever. Knocked on the door, dropped it at the door, said, hey, keep it moving. Dropped it off. Even some people in Cebu City where I couldn't physically take it, I was able to send the resources, via money transfer. She picked it up. She went shopping, and I got the pictures back. All of that will be posted on the Day in the Flow Facebook page, which should be up by tomorrow and be up all night working on that. And I'm going to post all those links here. But Day in the Flow charities, I'm working with local people so that I can see where your donations go. And on that note, I want to be extremely clear. This isn't for me. I'm taking total responsibility and total authority on where those funds go. Your funds, your donations that come from your heart. I have an Excel spreadsheet that'll be available on Google Drive for anybody that donates money to look at anytime in real time to see where those expenditures go, along with a receipt, a scanned or photocopy of every receipt of every time that I spend any money. I'm not up for that. We're doing this the right way. And I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart. So keep an eye out for Day in the Flow charities, Day in the Flow, Day in the Flow. I have a PayPal link. I'll put that in the descriptions as well. When the time is right. Probably not this video. The next video I'll do specifically a video for that. But again, thank you so much. This is a marathon, not a sprint. This too shall pass. And as always, before I say my catchphrase, please click subscribe, click on the bell icon so you get notifications of new posts. Feel free to leave comments. I really, really appreciate when you leave comments. That really means a lot to me. And with that said, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. This is Ed Winamba with Ed Travels, and I Took the Leap Travel Blog. Namaste.